Hello, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Tsukihime. Where we last left off, we were on a very long and one of my favorite prologues to a visual novel. It's still incredible for me. I really love how it was paced. There's not enough words I can say right now to describe how much I love that prologue. I definitely felt they went much more into the angle of Shiki's view on himself and like a more so deeper view on there's a lot of subtext in this game involving was essentially a talk about mentally ill people, like people who are who have a mental disability, dyslexia. There's another one. Depression. A lot of stuff, but around the time when this game was first made, a lot of people did not take mental illnesses seriously. So to see that this game is now diving more into, it's diving much more into it in the prologue, where it's like, yeah, there's people that's not going to understand you, but at the same time, it does not mean that you are any different from anyone else. Like, that's what I really love about this game, is how much it tells its other narrative really well during a time when like I said, mental illnesses aren't really being taken seriously. But let's get back on track onto the game. The track takes a sudden dive, leaving to the surface behind. Casting an artificial light across the tunnel wall, the train makes its way through the darkness. The car creaks around me. Man-made lights pass by at regular intervals. The vibration the seat lulls me into reflection on this short little journey. It's early, 6:33 a.m. 30 minutes have come and gone since I got on this train. That's how long it's been since I said goodbye to the people who took care of me all this time. How I react to this probably say a lot about me as a person. I'm sure some people might feel sad and wish they could have stayed longer. Others would accept it without a second thought. I wonder which side I fall on. I realized after a moment that I don't really feel either. I'm the only one sitting on an 8-seater bench. The seats in front of me are empty. There are only a couple of other people on the train, including a sleeping man in a suit on the bench next to me, next to mine, and a woman standing in front of the door. It may be early, but it feels particularly empty today. The noise from outside is strangely mute, but maybe I'm just lost in thought. I'm sorry, I will be right back. Sorry about that. I keep getting interrupted during these recordings. The train vaguely reminded me of a spaceship traveling through the darkness of outer space. No sound can reach out here. The only thing here are my stupid daydreams, the sound of my heart beating, and my memories from an hour ago. It came like a bolt from the blue. Makihisa Tono has died. Shiki Tono is to return to the Tono household immediately. The first contact I had from my family in 7 years, and that's how it goes? The Tono family word is final. I'm still a student, and they paid for all my expenses. But choosing to return to the mansion today instead of yesterday was my one act of defiance. I just wanted to stay a little longer at the home where I spent so much of my life. It was all I could do for the family that took me in and treated me like their own. Thank you for Thank you for breakfast. It was delicious. I finished my meal and leave the table before the sun even rise. After taking one final glance at my room, I clap my hands together and thanks. It's not much for all the time I stayed here, but I don't want to leave anything unsaid. I led a happy life here. That's why I want to carry away with me. Keiko saw me off alone as I left the Arima's household. I asked to leave quietly while waking others. Thank you for everything. Gives my regards to Dad and my Miyako for me. 7 years ago, the woman who acted as my mother in that time looked terribly sad. I never once thought I'd seen her like this. Life may be hard at the Tono Mansion, but you'll be okay, understand? Don't overdo it. Make sure you look after your health first and foremost. I take her words as encouragement to the heart. My time spent with them was peaceful. I just hope I didn't cause the Arimas too much trouble during my time with them. It's been 7 years. I had plenty of time to recover. I'm a lot sturdier than I look, you know. Yes, you are. The Tonos are quite the unusual family, but you're not one to let that bother you. You've always been a strong boy. She smiled through her sadness, and I smiled back. I'm happy that she still considers me to be her child. I think you're giving me a little bit too much credit. Well, I should get going. Take care, Mom. Goodbye, Shiki. Take care. Keiko knows that I won't be coming back. She sends me off with tears in the corner of her eyes. That was just 40 minutes ago. That moment marked the end of my previous life and the start to my new one. I will have to check something after this recording, cause I'm curious how much they change. Cause I feel like there is a change right there. Something I would like to do for this LP is like discuss a lot of the changes they made between this version, the old version, and possibly the manga as well. The view outside shifts slowly. We must have crossed a river that separates the suburban Yashirogi and arrived in the city of Soya. So, this I can absolutely say is different. The train begins its return to climb to the surface. So, the original Tsukihime took place in a fictional place known as Misaki Town. Here, in Tsukihime Remake, they take place in a new, well, not really a new, it's a actual city in Japan known as Soya. I could feel the gentle incline. Bright light shine through, piercing my eyes, which had grown accustomed to the artificial dimness of the subway. A thing about Misaki Town is Misaki Town also takes place. It's a place where it takes place. Where Mihoyo takes place. So what my guess is for changing the city is mainly that Nasu probably didn't want both Mihoyo and Tsukihime to take place in the same place. Due to certain events if he ever decides to finish Mihoyo too. Another thing is that it just during the time when the original Tsukihime was made, Mihoyo wasn't really fully a thing. It was more like in its proto stages, and it was a like kind of a story, but wasn't fully a story. Like it, imagine if you will, like it is published, but with no backers, basically. So it's essentially is a story made with no editors or anything like that. With no company behind it. So kind of like a lot of web novels that you might see. Basically it's self-promoted and is not like funded in any ways. But let's get back to the story. The train sweeps towards the city. The majority of the if its inhabitants are still asleep. Outside, the air is chilly. A fall morning in the month of October, the heat of summer is little more than a faint memory now. I've watched this same view nearly every day for a year and a half now. But this is the last time I'll be taking this train to school. Memories of the past 7 years rush by like the scenery outside the window. I survived a terrible injury that would have killed most 10-year-olds. I met the woman that would become my master and my mentor in life. I went to live with the Arima family, and now I'm halfway through my 2nd year. The thing Master feared might happen when we part never came to pass, and as long as I have these glasses on, I don't have to worry about seeing those lines again. And so Shikitono had led an ordinary, at times difficult life. That's all changed today. There's nothing major like feeling I don't belong or anything like that. I just don't feel right going back to the way things were before. Having lived a normal life these past few years, the Tono family way of doing things just seemed like a pain. Or at least more trouble than it's worth. Besides, I can't even imagine living in a mansion bigger than my entire school. I'm surprised I was able to handle it when I was a child. The thought of going back to that old-fashioned way of life is daunting to say the least. The train stopped at the large station for a few minutes. The locale line I'm taking has to wait for the express to pass. The platform is empty. Usually I would expect to see morning commuters in suits on their way to work, but it's particularly quiet today. The express passes by on the neighboring rails. Thank you for your patience. The next stop is an announcement I heard hundreds of times plays. The door closed with a hiss of air. I see that there's 4 stations left to Sawyer Station, the station where my school... Wait! Oh? Phew, that was a close one. I could have lost my head if I wasn't careful. A girl wearing a school uniform slipped through the automatic door that they closed. Her ribbon is green, so she must be a 3rd year. I feel like I've seen her before. The bag she's holding in her hand must contain things for club activities. Our eyes meet for a moment. The girl continued to stare at me. Just when I noticed that she walked closer. Good morning. Sorry about all that. Oh no, it's anything. I'm sorry for staring. The way she smiled has me apologizing almost by reflex. Please, it's my fault for causing such a big scene in the first place. As a 3rd year, I should be setting a better example. I guess you weren't lying when you said you weren't a morning person. The girl laughed lightly. I'm distracted by her laughter and... Huh? Come on, it's me. We just met last week. Don't you remember? Ciel? In an instant, my memory jolted awake. I knew she felt familiar. I crossed paths with her a number of times. And now that I think about it, there's probably not a person in the whole school who doesn't know Ciel. Soya High, most revered 3rd year. Happy to offer advice to any distraught 1st year. Eager to solve the woes of any troubled 2nd year. And quick to save underclassmen from the ire of the 3rd years. Some students call her the true student council president, considering most people rely on her over the teachers or any actual student council. She even helped me with something just last week. Man, how out of it am I? Ciel is right about how I hate mornings, but thinking about returning home for the first time in 7 years must be killing my brain cells. I can't think of something to say. I think of something to ask. Take the opportunity to admire what's in front of me. Okay, so if I remember correctly, there's two routes. And in order to get the other route, you have to say a lot of things towards Ciel. But you also have to say certain negative things to a certain character. Can't think of a single thing to say. Think of something to ask. Take the opportunity and admire what's in front of me. For right now, I'm going to try my best to go on to the first route. So let's go with 1. Unfortunately, I can't think of a single thing to say. Ciel wait patiently as I fumble for words, the smile on her face never faltering. So, do you usually take the train to school? Yeah, depending on what I have to do that day. What about you, Tona? Do you live from school? Pretty far. I get on at the first stop on this line. But that's all over now. This is the last time I'll be taking this train to school. Really? Did you move or something? Unable to come up with a decent explanation, I mumbled something non-committal. I shift my gaze to the window and stare at the building streaming by. Ciel seemed to sense that it's a sensitive subject and doesn't ask anything more. Our conversation continued with a faint sense of awkwardness for the next 15 minutes. Before long, the train reaches our destination, Soya Station. Did Shiki not bring any clothes or anything like that? It's just before 7 a.m. I left for school a bit early this morning, so the town hasn't quite woken up yet. It's quiet around the station right now, but in about an hour, it'll be bustling with traffic and commuters. Oh, off I go. Thank you for keeping me company. If you see me at school, feel free to say hi. Ciel runs off with a smile and a wave. Seeing her dash almost make me want to do the same. Her energy is infectious, but in the end, I have no reason to hurry. I probably shouldn't be running anyway, considering my condition. I make my way to school at my usual pace. My step heavier than usual. So my guess is Shiki didn't bring his bag for moving. If I remember correctly in the original, either they send someone to grab all his stuff before he could even bother, or Shiki just didn't mind taking anything. He only took one thing with him. And it's more because he's a minimalist rather than anything else. It's just about 7 when the main entrance to the school comes into my view. Students hurry through the gate to go to their club activity. They must be trying to make the most of their time before homeroom start at 8. Soya Municipal High School. An old high school celebrating 40 years since its founding. Our school administration rate isn't bad. Our clubs do fine, and the rules aren't particularly strict. It has no miles of school as you can find. The only complaint male students have is that their uniforms are too old-fashioned, but the school doesn't pay much mind to it. As for the girls, their uniforms were changed 3 years ago. Apparently, the school was worried that keeping the old sailor uniform would lead to a drop in enrollment. Something feels out of place out on my usual walk to school. Things feel busier than usual. Pale-faced teachers rush to the faculty room. A black car I'd never seen before is parked in the parking lot. There's a chill in the air. Images flash through my mind: a sparsely attended funeral, the cold black of a hearse. I sigh at my own dark thoughts. Trying to shake off the uneasy feeling growing inside of me, I head for the classroom. There's no one here yet. I sit in my chair and kill time until homeroom begins. More people begin to fill the room as I get into some studying. Morning, I managed to survive practice somehow. Huh? You're here early, Tono. I was sure I would be the first one here. It must be that volunteer thing. Damn, that was today? I think I was supposed to go to that. Assume the 2C get along well compared to the other classes. We're pretty casual with each other before taking our seat. Huh. That's also a big difference. Hold on one second. Hey, again, sorry. Getting interrupted a lot. I'm going to try to end this, wrap this recording session up quicker. So, yeah, we'll resume, like, next time. But, let me just finish off this scene. My thought. In the original, Shiki doesn't really talk with anyone besides, like, a few major characters. But, I got up with a classmate who just ended their club activities. But yeah, like, Shiki is very much different in this game, I'm noticing. In ways that are significant and ways that aren't significant. But that'll be it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful time. And next time we're going to continue. Take care.